Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Battle Nations Radio. Guys, this week it's going to be episode 27. We are going to be going over um, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Battle Nations in its current state. We are at the 9 month point of public release. So I figured this would be a good time to kind of reflect and take a look back and see what's gone right, what's gone wrong, where the game can improve, where the game's done really well, and provide some constructive feedback for the devs. Yeah, just kind of go from there. Yeah. And we're going to talk about, we'll open up the radio. We'll open up the live show as soon as I kind of get my first initial wave of thoughts out. So keep an eye out for that in the Discord. I'll get the game pulled up in the background as we're doing some gameplay in the background. I'll try and talk and do gameplay too, but we always know how that goes. If y'all can hear me all right, if there are any issues with that, let me know. We'll get the game loaded up and we'll get a little roll call going, get some media going. Just make everything nice. What are we? We'll go with some funky beats. Keep it lighthearted. Too much. We'll do a little roll call music here. Get some nice funky. All right, and let me get my screen shared. All right. All right, and here we are, guys. Welcome to the setup. We're good to go. And welcome on in, everyone. We got Jut, we got Cornwall, we got Dune, we got Rhino Vault Boy, and Boica. What's going on, guys? Welcome on in. We'll do a little check-in first before we get into the main segment tonight and open up the calls. But first one I want to do is weekly pickups. So, what's been new in Battle Nations this week? What's new for me? Kind of where we're at. And so for this week, we are the newest edition, or the highlight of the weekly pickups, is going to be my Navy. And that is right, we got our second Ironclad. Super excited about it. It's not an Ancient Sentinel frag. That's all the rave right now, but it is an Ironclad. And that puts my boss drop counter up at 7 with 2 Dexters, 3 Tentacles, and 2 Ironclads. Still hoping to get an AS frag. I will let you all know when I do. I'd be happy with either one. Obviously, I love a range, but I'm good with either one. So that's a big one. We've been a little quiet on the home front in terms of ranking things up. Just kind of what I'm focusing on right now was the Snake. I'm kind of slowly getting that one to R9. I'm 3 bars in, so about a third of the way there. And Maulers, I need to focus on those more. Hopefully by the end of the stream, or maybe by the end of tonight, I'll have those at R4 or ready to go. We are currently promoting, hey buddy, we are currently promoting the Dirigible up to R7. Figured we get that one taken care of. Take a little water break there. And yeah, guys, sorry for the late start today. My dog ate my laptop charger. This was the extension, or what was it? But that is obviously no longer working, so we had to last minute scramble. In terms of other weekly pickups, I've been kind of lazy doing it, but I've been getting my barracks, so get my third one up to 15. And mass producing kind of slowly, a little slower. I know we'll get into that in terms of the good, the bad, and the ugly. We've been kind of taking that on as well. Get some wimps in there. Why not? We'll keep training the wimps. But yeah, it's good to see everyone. If you have any thoughts about what's been going well in the game, what's not been going well in the game, just where you'd like to see improvements and what you think the devs have done really well, I hope that they're able to watch this. Maybe take some of that feedback. Definitely drop that in the comments, or if you want to pop on, you know where to pop on. I'll drop that Discord link as well to join the BNG Discord. With that being said, let me go ahead. I have some prepared notes for this. Alrighty. So, with that being said, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Let me go ahead and get set up at Bigfoot Country too. 1 second here. Bigfoot. Yeah. No, I feel where you're at, Cornwall. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well tonight. Have some thoughts on that. And we'll just kind of get the motion of the ocean going right here. Yeah, no, completely understand that. Alrighty. So got that set up. That's going in the background. That's perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and get this one thing. Click that replay. Alrighty, and we're back. Alrighty, so Battle Nations 9 months in. We are 9 months in from public release of this game. This game came out officially back in May 2025. Towards the end of May, so obviously it's a little bit less than 9 months, but for the sake of this podcast, we're going to call this one the 9-month mark. But let's go ahead and touch on the good here. The good. So, the first and foremost good thing about Battle Nations in its current state is that it's back. The game is back, and obviously that's a very good thing, but I don't think people sometimes appreciate how hard it was to get that licensing, that IP, back from King. That was a huge legal uphill battle. Some of the likes of where, I'm sure that Madrona doesn't really discuss it fully, but getting that license, the ability to use that license from King, and King is such a massive corporation, that is a very hard thing to do. So the number one, the crowdfunding that took place there, the support to the devs who had to engage in all that legal back and forth. That is probably the most impressive thing that the devs have done, or that they've done in the entire game. Because remember, they don't have a product yet. They're getting very limited funding, and they're having to take on this corporation for licensing rights. I don't know how the deal looks internally. I'd be, just from a curiosity standpoint, I'd be very curious about how that deal ended up working out. I will probably never know, but that's okay. But yeah, I mean, that is the most impressive feat that the devs have overcome. The game is back. Really, really hard to get through that kind of licensing nightmare. I'm not in that industry per se, so I can't speak to the ins and outs of it. Absolutely happy to learn a little bit more, but yeah, guys, Battle Nations is back. That's great. We are 9 months in. It's been a fantastic ride so far. We have level 53. People are taking out the Ancient Sentinel. We didn't have that in our first year of Battle Nations last time around, so that's really good to see, and I'm really happy about that. Working on Megas and Maulers. Nice, Judge. What's going on, Halkin? Yeah, Dune. But it's like all of their nanos having M10s would, yeah, it does kind of put you in a pickle. No, I agree. But that is my first point about the good. And my next good point about Battle Nations coming back is that, one second, I'm actually going to change the music here. Sorry, I got it. All right, changing the music there. Anyway, so the next good point about the next thing that falls into the good category is that Battle Nations is Madrona is implementing the new level upgrades, in my opinion, at a very solid pace right now. And we'll get into more detailed discussions about how everything else is playing out a little bit later. But what I want to compliment them on right now is that I think the rate at which they are releasing new levels, so like, from level 1 to 30 were originally available to level 35, so on and so forth. I think they've done a good job of increasing the level cap at an efficient rate, not too fast, not too slow. They're just doing it about just right. And it's made it so, if you join in September, you're able to you're plenty fine. You're up 53 if you're an active player. They've given time for people to catch up. It hasn't gotten 1 to 70 or 2 out of hand fully. So they've done a good job at pacing the release of level cap updates. I think if you have any disagreements about that, I'd be curious to hear. But they're pacing it well, so people can't like nano their way ahead and get way too high. But yeah, no, it's been good to kind of see on that, and I'm very content with how they've been releasing levels, and they've done it at a good pace. Something that they've done a fantastic job, and they've only gotten better at it as the time length of the game has gone on, is patching bugs. They patch bugs very quickly right now. They did it. I mean, the longest bug issue I can really remember is probably the friends list bug issue. So if you were part of the game back then, you're familiar with what I'm talking about. But the bug list, the friends list bug took a little bit to get patched. That was kind of a pain. But with bugs now, I mean, they get on it and they get them patched very quickly, and that's always really good to see. So yeah, I'm very happy about the pace at which they're patching the bugs and their response to bug patches. That's been fantastic to see. That's what you want from a responsive development community. That's just healthy. That's healthy for the game. It's healthy for the company. It keeps the product viable. So from a marketing perspective, the game is fully functional. And if there are patches, the devs tackle them quickly. Always fantastic to see. I don't think I get much pushback on that one. Next one. And now I don't know this for sure, so this is just a guess here. It seems that Madrona is doing a good job of managing their capital. So what I mean by that is with the money that they made from the game, to me, the way that they're kind of approaching things, it looks like they've done a good job of reinvesting a lot into the game. That's always a good quality of life sign. And some examples for why I think they're reinvesting into the game is it looks like they're bringing on more full-time employees. We have employees switching from part-time to full-time. Growth is generally always a good thing. So it looks like that's going to more employees, more support. And I believe that's why they're able to patch bugs a little bit quicker now too, is because they have more employee support. They have people who are full-time or dedicated to the game. That's always good to see. And it looks like a good allocation of resources. Obviously, I don't have their books in front of me or anything along those lines. But just good to see the financial allocation going on there. And yeah, I think they've done a good job managing those resources. It's good to see the team growing and keep growing. If you want to get into the Madrona weeds, definitely give them a peek on LinkedIn. You can see how they've been growing too. I follow them. Definitely good to check out there. But yeah, so for my fourth point there, for the good, is that they appear to be managing their capital well and reinvesting into the game. All right, 3 more points for the good. I'm going to stop praising Madrona here in just a second, but I do want to tip my cap to where I need to tip my cap to. The next one is they've done a lot of fan service to the game. And what I mean by that is they've done things such as in the first boss strike, they gave us units that were generally desired among the community. And for the tier 3 and the tier 7 rewards for boss strike, they gave us 3 times for each. They didn't do that till way later back in the old game, and that's awesome. They listened to the community there. That was the times 3 units was actually a suggestion in the suggestion channel. The devs checked that out, and they implemented it into the very first boss strike. So it shows that the devs are looking at the suggestion channel and kind of catering to what the players want. Another thing that I noticed is with this button right here, the immediately replace the same formation button. That was a quality of life update that was taken from the suggestion page. That's been fantastic for the game. I think most people can agree with that. It's made the grind a little less mundane. But yeah, no, I mean, they're doing a lot of fan service. The other thing that I've seen is, we have devs doing interviews with YouTubers, which is fantastic to see, always good. And we also are seeing the devs play the game. They're engaging in the game. If a dev plays their own game, that's a very good sign. It means they're more in tune to what's working, what's not working in the game, and just kind of having that hands-on experience and that passion for the game itself. Always great to see. So happy they play it. Alrighty, and then my next good. We talked about this a little bit before. But they've done a good job of quality of life improvements, and stuff that even they're working on now. So quality of life could be anything from the repaste this formation button, as well as the visual upgrades that they're performing on the game. So the game is rather old. If you're familiar with Reed, he's one of the devs. He is, I believe he's the art director of the game. He's working on bringing the game up to the 2020 standards of graphics. Not saying that the graphics are bad now, but he's just improving upon them. We have seen sneak peeks before. They do look fantastic. Basically just kind of modernizing the visuals a little bit while still maintaining the same aesthetic of the game. That's always fantastic to see. So that's another quality of life that's, not major to the gameplay or anything along those lines, but just really good to see. Alrighty. Oh, that's my Discord. Go ahead and pop that over here. And then my last good that I'm gonna give to Madrona for the 9-month mark is that they're pushing to get things done. And I know this sounds a little controversial right now, but they are pushing to get things done. So, 2 examples that I really want to bring up is I know it was a big point of contention to get the first boss fight game before 2025 ended. They did a good job with that. Obviously, some features like the leaderboard and everything along those lines were a little bit bare bones, but they did a good job of getting that across the finish line. Really, no bugs, and if there was a bug, they fixed it extraordinarily quickly. So it was great. They pushed to get that done, and they accomplished it, and that was fantastic for the community. The next thing is that they also pushed to get that Black Nano event back in October. I think that was a big needle mover. Definitely a fun event. It was fun to have a limited time event in Battle Nations. I really missed those. So it was great that they made that extra push to get that feature back into the game. And I think they have done a pretty good job of pushing to get things done and out the door. All right. Now we're going to move on to the bad of Battle Nations. The bad of what I think has not gone too well in the first 9 months. Also, if you have anything good or extra that I didn't cover, make sure to drop it in the comments. But we're going to go ahead and get into what I think can be improved upon. This is what I'm calling the bad. It's not the ugly, but it's the bad for right now. Alrighty. So, my first thing for the bad is that communication right now from the devs ebbs and flows, especially for patrons. And my feelings on this is essentially there's some times where the devs are very communicative in the game, and that's awesome. And it's great to hear from them. Everyone gets excited, very almost a euphoric feeling of just like, yeah, this is great. This is all coming together. We have a lot of confidence. And then sometimes they just kind of just go on this dry streak of just no communication whatsoever. And what this creates is like these highs and these lows within the Battle Nations community. And to be very fair, and maybe not to the average player, maybe you have to be a little more intertwined with the Battle Nations community to keep up with this. But this is an issue. The devs have not nailed down a consistent communication practice with the community. And that has created some struggles of people who are kind of, wondering when the next thing is coming, because, we have to face it. The game is great right now. The game is good right now, but it is missing key features that makes a modern mobile game. And with that lack of communication, it does kind of create that inner monologue of like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? So I know the devs are working on it. They're good there, but the devs do need to work on their communication and get some more frequent communication or scheduled communication back on the books, because as of right now, it kind of just seems like, oh, we'll say something whenever we want, but it's going to be up to us, and you'll hear from us when you hear from us, sort of deal. I don't think that's great, especially to people who are kind of outside looking in. It would be nice to know, hey, maybe we can hear something by this date. I just think we need more scheduled communication from the devs, and that would kind of take it up a notch. At least for me, kind of want to know where your heads are on that. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? But yeah, that's my first gripe is communication. And guys, before we get on to another one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button. let's get Father Algorithm a little happy here. But go ahead and make sure to hit that. Yeah, Halkin, you're exactly right. I think we did get a semblance of a roadmap of like, hey, here's everything we're going to try and accomplish in 2026. So it's not like we haven't gotten nothing, but it's been very limited, and it's like, hey, here's what's going to happen within an entire year. So we're just not sure yet. We just don't really know. Are you really going to sit right there, buddy? Okay. Alrighty. Sorry, I am on dog duty. All right, my next one. My next bad for Battle Nations is that there is a lack of incentivization, I believe I said that right, for players to log in each day if you are a max rank player. What I mean by that is the only two things that keep a player coming on every day, or three things, we'll call it three things, are number one, looking to see if your bosses have reappeared. That's the biggest one. The second one is grinding units and upgrading units. It's another thing that will keep a max player coming on every day. The third one is it's just more mass production, maybe preparing for a next event. But all in all, that's really it. There's a lack of incentive especially for max level players, but for a lot of players to log in every day. If you have missions, that's great. That's more of an incentive. But the game is really lacking on incentives to get players excited to log in every day. And that is, the longer that the game goes on, so we're at 9 months now, the more focus I think that needs. Obviously, when it first came out, we'll give them leeway. They're getting their feet wet. I totally get it. We're 9 months in now. We definitely need to focus on that a little bit more, I would say. And obviously communications say from earlier this year that they're working on this, again, with the update that Alex kind of gave everyone of here's what we're working on for 2026. And I'm not talking about, crazy events. These can be as simple as daily login rewards, double SP weekends, invasions, guild challenges. They don't have to be anything crazy. They don't have to be a big time suck like Boss Strike can be. Just something to be like, oh yeah, I need to pop on Battle Nations today and get that. Or, oh yes, my guild is going to participate in this week, and let me go ahead and engage with not only the game but engage with the community, because community engagement and game engagement almost go hand in hand. They need more of that. They definitely need to kind of narrow their vision, their sights on that. I think that is really important. And it's something that kind of needs to come a little sooner rather than later, in my opinion. So that's another one for the bad. And kind of going off of that, another bad that I have is that the in-game, like the level 53, it feels like it is dragging on. Like, you rush to get to level 53 as soon as it comes out, but you get to level 53 and it's like, I'm going to go to, like, the whole game is just Bigfoot camp at this point. And that can seriously, create some fatigue issues. And I think especially with, being at level 53 right now, what we're seeing is that the SP requirements of some of these units at level 53 are so incredibly high. And because of that, people are going to be kind of get burnt out a little bit more. You're not seeing that there's less of a reward system. If it takes that long, it can be frustrating. And when we get to this high of a level, it's great. Obviously the Ancient Sentinel's here, we can take it out, for boss drops, but that's it. I mean, I am worried about the lack of in-game content in this game. Prestige would be a good step. Events, back to what I was saying earlier, we just need a little more incentive, because those... All right, no, you cannot eat my computer charger, buddy. Apple. Sorry about that. But yeah. And then the last one for the bad is that I feel since we are 9 months in, advertising needs to come sooner rather than later. To be completely honest, the game needs to. I don't know what the revenue stream is, and I think it is pretty good, especially from their dedicated, and it increases with events and level caps and everything along those lines. But we need to get advertising going. The game population has been okay. I take it back then, Dune. That's actually really good insight. I appreciate that. So Dune is saying they are advertising, not heavily. So that's great. So if they are advertising, I kind of take back what I said. That's fantastic to see. But yeah, I do believe that, just let's get advertising going, and PvP is going to be really important along with that advertising. You want to have those multiplayer features ready to go, and you're great to advertise. All right. So, on to the ugly. This is kind of what I think is the game is in the game, the culture surrounding the game, some stuff that I don't think is going well for the game right now, in my personal opinion. This is the stuff that probably needs the most attention. And this one kind of links into this one kind of links back to advertising. So I only really got 2 points of, this is pretty bad, and we'll kind of get into that. So the first one is going to be, whether we like it or not, the game right now is heavily driven by nostalgia. I would estimate, and I'm very curious. I'm actually going to throw a poll up after this episode because I am really curious about this. But I would estimate that at least, what do y'all think? 75, 85? What percent of players do you think are players who played back in the day and are returning? And nostalgia is great. I mean, nostalgia works for a lot of people, 85%. I mean, there's some brands that build incredibly well off your nostalgia, but it's nostalgia plus that works really well for brands. So it's not just, oh, we had this thing back in the day and that's it. You're just getting the thing from back in the day. No, brands succeed because they say, hey, we had this thing back in the day, and we still have that, but it's now even better than you remember it. It's so great. And we've improved upon it. And that not only gets people who are, nostalgia baited into the game, but that gets new people interested too and creates a whole new era of fans. And that's fantastic. So with that being said, I think this game's success is primarily ran on nostalgia right now. And these 9 months I don't know if this game could have survived in these 9 months without the nostalgia factor at play. And frankly, that's just not a sustainable model. The nostalgia factor is great, but we also need to innovate. In our guild server, the first time I witnessed somebody say they haven't played Z2BN was yesterday. That is crazy. But yeah, the game cannot survive off of nostalgia, and I do think the devs need to make sure they're innovating. And I know they're trying to get to level 70 before innovation. I totally get that. I don't even disagree with that model per se. Communication can help. We've talked about that. And lack of comms is an issue with that nostalgia factor too, because lack of comms doesn't induce any confidence, especially to patrons. So just curious, how many of y'all are patrons in here? And I'll give you a second to answer, but we'll kind of continue on. Is that the promise of being a patron is kind of getting exclusive. You're giving. I'm a patron. I pay the $5 every month. Try and support the devs. Love seeing the game come back. What's going on, the Perry Core? So yeah, but with the with Patreon, one of the your promise, this is kind of exclusive access to the devs and everything along those lines. What's going on? How are you doing? And that's great to see. But I think the devs need to come up with a more systematic way of communicating with the patrons. That is something that, you want to keep, especially people who might be at that 300 mammoth tier. I mean, 300 a month is crazy. Some people still do pay that. And to those people, to anybody that pays, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're helping this game come back to where it is, and that's fantastic. But with that being said, we need some more comms. This game can't be filled solely on nostalgia. Ooh, maybe this will come. I don't think we're begging for timelines here or anything like that, but a more flushed out communication schedule from the devs. So it's like, hey, we get an update every other Friday, or just a check-in, or hey, we don't have anything this week, but we're actively working. And having a community manager, Soju, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's a fantastic point. I think they need somebody with a little bit of media training or marketing training, just to kind of work on that community manager aspect. That could be a really big help. So yeah, a community manager, would love to see that. I think that could really kind of help improve on this at BNAP. Alrighty, and let me get into kind of going on as we've been talking about here. My biggest ugly for the game right now, and this one's probably going to ruffle some feathers, so I guess we'll be a little bit controversial here. But my biggest issue with the game right now, or just the game's culture, is Donator General. The reason I take issue with Donator General is might not be exactly the reason that y'all think. But when you go to Patreon and you want to sign up to be a patron, you get access to three things. It lists three things if you want to become corporal. It says you get nanopods at a better rate every single month. You get access to exclusive in-game profile pictures, and quote, you get access to exclusive donor Discord channels. And if anybody has taken a peek in Donator General, you've seen it's been filled with excessive, I guess, brain rot gifts. It has been unmoderated to the extreme, and also filled with zero communication from the devs. So it's people just spamming over and over and over and over again. And if this is Donator General, if this is something you are advertising as a perk of donating to the game, this is what only the people that donate get. And then it is just this place that is filled with this is this place where it doesn't even, you have no idea what's going in. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen the Donald Glover meme where he walks in with the pizza and everything's on fire, but that's how it feels most of the time in Donator General, and it's zero moderation in that place. It is, it's so bad, and my issue with it is that I don't think it's the people who are spamming in DG. I don't think it's their fault, and frankly, I don't blame them. I don't know if they're even necessarily doing anything wrong. My issue is with Madrona. If they are going to advertise Donator General as a place where you get to pay and you get these exclusive Discord channels, you get kind of this exclusive communication with the devs, thank you so much for donating. The devs are going to talk a little bit more in here, kind of a place to talk about the game and stuff like that. You have to moderate it. You cannot let this type of activity slide. It de-incentivizes people from purchasing. It de-incentivizes people from purchasing the Patreon subscription, simply due to the fact that if you're only marketing three things with a Patreon subscription, and that's one of them, you're missing one of the three things because they're not living up to the promise of what this one thing was. And that's kind of a huge issue to me, is this lack of moderation, this lack of community manager, and they're kind of just letting things get out of control. And the other problem is, if you really think about it, is this: if you have this chaos with a lack of communication from the devs, and there's all this chaos going on in the community, and this is chaos within the community because it's in Donator General, it doesn't give people the best gut feeling. And maybe this is me just being too terminally in Discord, or checking it too much, or trying to see if anything's happened. But I want to rephrase that my issue is not with the people who are having a fun time commenting and hanging out in Donator General, or even to the people that are spamming in Donator General. Sure, I don't agree with the way that you were communicating, but if this was in regular general chat of Battle Nations, it's in regular general chat. Nobody's paying for that feature. You go have fun there, talk with the people that you want to talk. I'll let the mods set their own rules for that. That's not a feature that I'm paying for. I'm not paying to be in that Discord. But with Donator General, yeah, people are paying to be in there. And if you're going to make the experience bad for everyone, and the devs are going to let that activity slide, people aren't going to be Patreon subscribers. And Patreon is a big way that devs get money. The devs need to make sure that they are not almost encouraging people to unsubscribe from Patreon. I think that's a bad business model right now. And I think I have so much feedback for improvements on Donator General and Donator News and all of these Donator channels. I think they've done a great job with Discord in terms of reading some suggestions. And when they pop in there, they do communicate well, but they have no scheduled communication with the team. And they're really slacking in terms of when it comes to moderation and selling a pristine perk of being a Patreon. So I think that's ugly. I personally think they have let that get way too out of control. I don't think they're taking it seriously. I could be very wrong here, in all honesty, but that's just where I stand on it. Kind of curious where y'all stand on this. Obviously, there's a lot of drama. Obviously, sometimes in Donator General, yes, there are great moments. And I've had a fun time in Donator General too, but it just seems like it is ramped up exponentially, and I don't even know how to explain it in just this kind of weird communication style where the devs aren't really taking care of anything. So that's where I stand with it. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines here. If you strongly disagree with me, make your disagreement heard. I'd love to talk about it. Let me go ahead and get everything pulled up. If you want me to change the music, if you have any comments, something that I missed, something that you think I was a little too hard on, something you think I was a little too soft on, I would love to hear it. Let me go ahead and get these phone lines opened up. As I always do. I don't think that was the right copy button for the Discord. One sec. If anybody from BNA, BNG could post a link to the Discord, that's always appreciated. I definitely don't think I posted the right one. And sorry, while I'm doing that, is Dune said, I have heard some complaints of people about the Green Bro situation. I'll understand that it needs to be non-trivial to prevent excessively fast grinding, but lower levels are getting screwed. Interesting. Okay. So let me do one more battle here, and then we'll go ahead and switch over to Green Bro and check that out. Let me go take a peek at that too. So I want to get through this one. Alrighty, where are we at? No, you're good. All right, so switching over. And we'll go ahead and fight this guy with 4 here. Yeah, that'll be easy enough. We'll take him on with all maulers. So you're saying that it's too hard at Green Bro. It's kind of preventing, I hear you on that. I could be persuaded. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe this is just, I didn't do it, so nobody must have done it, sort of deal. And that's just my ignorance. So forgive that. That bet in this battle is at such a low level. It is at a low level. I never really went to Greenboro. Like maybe a little bit for lumber, but that's really about it. So it's really just didn't engage much with that. And maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe that is preventing players from ranking up faster. So, all right, a little bit of gold. That's 400 SP. Not terrible, not great. But Bigfoot will serve you better there. I understand that you don't have as much access to that. I think there's something similar to Ganges Base where it changes formations depending on the level cap. So let's go ahead and check that out. Also, I do want to take a peek, see if we have a Kraken or anything showing up. So nothing there. Thank you for the assists, y'all. Do y'all see anything? I don't. Unfortunate. That bet, yeah. Greenboro first mission is level 28. That formation is, yeah. No, I can understand that. That kind of makes sense. So I won't be surprised. Shmebo, you missed my entire rant on the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ironically, I had to take a water break there. Ooh. Yeah, so, I need some teeth. Do you get automatic teeth from Bogan's house? Let's find out. I need teeth. Teeth are like, I think somebody said in my Discord that teeth are like files now, which I thought was pretty funny. Now, I understand this isn't a big deal, but I did read some of the discussions that said move left a bad taste of their mouths. I agree. So Dune, to me personally, it wouldn't be anything that I would. It isn't a big enough change for me to warrant, putting it maybe in the bad category, if that makes sense to you. I was trying to kind of reserve the bad for stuff of like, yeah, this is noticeable, but I mean, to each their own. I'm not that low level, so I'm not having those experiences. And as much as I want to relate to low levels and stuff like that, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to relate to them fully. So this is good, good comms from your end. Just kind of helping me understand, what's going on there. So not too much going on in the Raptor fronts. I do want to do our next weekly segment here. I want to take out these sandworms have got to get me. Can you chat and GPT summarize the points about the good and bad, the ugly? Shmebo, just for you, I will read them off real quick. Let me finish this off real quick. I mean, the situation specifically was just one of those decisions they didn't take into account. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's a situation that only benefits players who are at a higher level, right? Because higher level players aren't gonna have an issue for it. Hey, doggo. You want to say hi for the camera? I promise I have a real dog. I'm sure y'all just think I'm petting nothing at this point. Hi, buddy. All right. Ooh, that was a lot of SP. I'll take that. All right. Back to it. Oh, I like those head scratches, huh? All right. So, just for Shmebo here, we're going to do a speed run of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Alrighty. So, the good, these are things I think that Madrona and Battle Nations have done fantastic. To go over those, I have a lot of points. First one being Battle Nations is back. Here I elaborated on just kind of the legal challenges and disputes of a a startup company having legal disputes with King and trying to get an IP back, for formatting those deals with a very limited income. That's extremely impressive. That's the thing that's been the most impressive to me. So a big props to the devs for that, and fantastic job. They've done a really good job of patching bugs very quickly as well. Their patch behavior has actually sped up as the game has progressed, meaning that they're addressing things quicker now than they ever have before. That's always great news for the longevity of the game. I'm really excited about that. The next one is they appear to be managing capital well. So money allocation for the game appears to be going to more full-time employees and bringing on employees from part-time to full-time, advancing in more tech software for the game. Always fantastic to see. They pay a lot of fan service to the game. So these include, giving ×3 units for the tier 3 and tier 7 of the boss strike, as well as doing the formation repeat button as well. That's our fan service. Those are suggestions. Those are great. Quality of life improvements we've also seen with the reuse formation button, along with advancements visually that they're working on. Reed is primarily working on that. Last thing is they're on the good side. They're pushing to get things done, such as the Black Nano event and boss strike before the end of the year. Those actions show that they really care about the community, and that they have a schedule they're trying to stick to. They're doing a great job of just getting things done. That's always fantastic to see. So those are my really good things that I've seen with Battle Nations. I'm sure I'm missing something here. That's the good. I'm doing a speed run here, so if I go a little quick, just forgive me. The bad. These are things that can be improved on. The bad doesn't necessarily mean these are the worst things ever. These are just kind of call-outs. The bad. Communication ebbs and flows from the devs, especially for patrons. This can create, higher highs and lower lows in the game and in the community. My recommendation for a fix would be have scheduled comms with the community and with donators. Lack of small events, log in rewards, double SP weekends, invasions, guild events. They don't incentivize the player to log in every day. These can create issues when trying to increase the daily active viewers. Comms from the devs this year have not been fantastic. They deserve a needs improvement sticker for that. In-game content continues to struggle. The level cap increases are great, but once you get to the end, there isn't too much outside of boss strikes and grinding, and obviously the occasional boss strike. Oh, nice. I'll put that down. All right. And last thing is, for the bad, is advertising needs to come at some point. But Dune corrected me on this, is that they have actually started advertising, so that's really good to see. Maybe I'm not getting advertisements because I already have Battle Nations. That would make sense. You would not want to or need to target a Battle Nations ad towards me, because I myself am trying to advertise for Battle Nations. So totally tracking there. So now we get into the ugly. These are things where I think they are pretty lacking. So the ugly are just 2 points here. Is that whether we like it or not, is the game's current success is primarily ran on nostalgia, and this is not a sustainable business model to maintain players and attract new ones. Lack of comms doesn't do anything to assist confidence. They need to make sure that they are focused on innovating this year. I'm not saying that they aren't innovating. I'm just saying the current state of the game right now is primarily driven on nostalgia, and that I would wager that at least 75% at a bare minimum of the player base are returning players, which isn't bad because Battle Nations had such a big player base back in the day. But the game can't forever run on nostalgia, and it is time to start thinking about ramping up new events or anything along those lines to run a model that is nostalgia plus. Nostalgia plus models for business work very well. Lots of companies do it. Lego being a big one. Hey, do you remember this from when you were a kid? It's back, or we still have it, but it's even better now. So nostalgia plus innovation go a long ways, and that will do very well for the company. I know they're working on it, but that is something that does need to change, and this is kind of the year that needs to change. And then my only other one is that I have a huge issue with Donator General in the current state that's in. Is that the game, if you go to become a patron, I want to go, I'm new to the game. I want to go support the devs. I want to go to Patreon. I want to get $5 a month to support the devs, and I want to get, some exclusive stuff. If I pay $5 a month, I get access to 3 things. I get a better rate for nanos each month for that $5. I get an exclusive PFP profile picture, and I get access to, as they market it themselves, it is advertised as access to exclusive Donator Discord channels. And my issue is that if you're going to advertise Donator General as a paid feature, Donator General being a paid feature, these exclusive channels are primarily filled with brain rot, spam, and GIFs, and the devs very rarely talk in it. And even if they do talk in it, you can't see it because there's so much spam you have to scroll past. In my opinion, this is personally not the fault of people who are spamming, but this is more the fault of the lack of moderation from the devs or giving an advertised product through. But if you're going to advertise this as an exclusive, chat that you need to pay for, you need to moderate that chat so it's a marketable product to keep people as patrons. You can't just say Donator General, but it's literally just the worst chat you've ever seen. Hey, what? It's and they need to moderate that. I don't care if this happens in general chat and general Battle Nations, because that's a free chat. You weren't paying for that. If people want to communicate that way, I think that's a fine place. But if Donator General is a marketable thing, I think they need to moderate that, and they're not doing a good job of that. And they're, even if they're talking in there, nobody can tell because it's I literally all I see is a fucking lizard every single time that I go into Donator General, and that's a problem. I mean, seriously, the moderation is horrendous in there. If you're gonna market that, and the other issue with that is frankly that it turns people off. People are gonna be like, "This is what I'm paying money for. Like, I don't need to pay for this. I have no use for this. I'd rather even not see the channel." So they need to advertise their products better. I would say that at the very minimum. But yeah, those are the only 2 uglies that I have. I mean, obviously, with the latter ones, I'm dogging on Madrona a little bit here, but overall, I mean, for 9 months in, my final grade, and I didn't get this before, so my final grade for Madrona 9 months in is a B+. I think they're very close to an A. Room for improvement is a little bit more moderation for paid features and a little bit more in-game content, and overall, just a communication schedule. I think a communication schedule would be great. Just if you give us a communication schedule, that doesn't mean you have to have much to communicate to us. I'm not saying, hey, every other Friday we're going to have new updates for you. It doesn't need to be necessarily like, oh, here's a new update. Yeah, Shmebo, they did a boss strike at the end of 2025 with this. I can't bring them to a C. I would definitely not give them a C, but that is actually interesting. I'm going to open this up to the chat, and we're going to go ahead and get a poll going. God, I wish I knew how to operate YouTube a little more efficiently. Let me go ahead and get this. I'm not letting anyone give them an F here because they definitely do not deserve an F. That would be ridiculous. I hear you, buddy. I know you're making tons of noise. Madrona should do a stream to interact with their community and answer ideas and suggestions. That is... Do y'all have faith that that stream won't be filled with lizard gifts if that were to happen? Because that would be my concern. They would need a lot of mods in that chat. Throwing out bans. No, I'm joking. No, I don't think... Or put together a short Q&A video. Obviously, this is a open invite. If any devs want to come on here, I'm happy to talk about whatever they want to talk about. Or if they just want to come out and hang with the community, they don't even have to talk about, you know, the game. I think it was mentioned before, but somebody said, I believe it was Puri, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe somebody did say that the game could very much so use a community manager, and I hard agree with that. People have floated AP. AP would be obviously fantastic, but I know he is swamped. But we'll kind of see what direction they go at. All right, let me go ahead and use some gears and widgets here. Not gears and widgets. All right, I can make some... I shouldn't be making an anti-aircraft gun. But yeah, no, I mean, lots of improvement, and you know, maybe I'm far off here, so if I were to go take a peek, and guys, I do stand corrected. There are times when Donator General is good. So I'm taking a look at Donator General right now. And they're talking a lot of strategy, and that's actually really helpful and that's fantastic to see in Donator General. Just community hangout, love seeing that. It's like, I don't know, maybe with that, it's like almost a lot of these should be happening in Donator Off Topic, but it never is. I don't even peek in Donator Off Topic, but no, it's good to see that sort of communication, and that's very encouraging and positive to the community. So let's take a look at the poll here. All right, so looks like people are primarily on B here. We got one C. We got, I don't know if it's one, but we got 9% on A and 9% on C. So the same amount there. But B is kind of the heavy favorite right now. All right, let's see where else we're going to. Yeah. All right. So back to where we were earlier. Let's go ahead and do our weekly segment, Reddit Readout. Alrighty, here we go. Reddit Readout. Alright, so this is just a weekly segment where we kind of just take a look at what's going on in Reddit and talk about it as fans of the game. So the first one is, what tanks to use after light tanks? Hello everyone, I'm a level 43 free-to-play player, and my R4 light tanks are becoming obsolete. Especially farming at the Silver Wolf encounters, I'm sick of regularly repairing them. My question is, what frontline unit should I invest in to replace them? I have one heavy tank from the mission where you build one, and have heard that they are not worth the cost. I have heard positive things about portable walls, light chem tanks, and heaviers, but only have access to walls at the moment. I have 114 nano save. Should I break the bank and save some supers and train some supers for the moment, or are there good free-to-play options? And he gave his user, so feel free to add him as a friend too. Let's read the comments real quick. I have some thoughts on this. I would love to hear your thoughts as well. Hell Gamer saying, I would give Madrona a B+, Hobby Hangout. There's always room for improvement. They've done it fantastic, but there's always room for more. I completely agree. Yeah, I think we're looking good right now. I gave them a B+ as well. If you're really committing to free-to-play, heavy tanks are pretty good until you can get heavier tanks. I myself have 4 super tanks, and I think they're well worth it, but I also use portable walls a lot. I suggest getting like 2 more heavy tanks and using the save nanos for 2 supers, or if you're patiently waiting 2 megas. Peacekeepers are your way to go. That's a good stopgap measure, I would say. If you're level 42, 43, and you need a frontline unit, go Peacekeepers and wait for Heaviers. Because my advice here, I have 50 Heaviers. I'm going to say go Heaviers all the way. Yeah, I mean, Heaviers definitely. Light chem tanks are very good too. You'll have to make one at least for the missions as well. But light chem tanks are very serviceable. That's always good to see. I say stick to portable walls for now. They're better against tanks, sandworms, and heavier tanks. Once you reach 47, build 3 heavier tanks. Yeah. No, mine's going to be heavier tanks, but that's interesting there. How can I deal with critters effectively? These are my forces, guys. Let's take a look at this army. I love seeing this because this means this player is getting back into the game. That's fantastic to see. They have their soldier right there. They got some vehicles. That's good to see. 1 raptor, a couple sandbags. I need to see what formations he's up against because I don't know exactly. Obviously, my recommendation here is he has this guy, the scout, so get the soldier. The soldier's going to be so good. Salamanders are also good, but those are nanos. I'm trying to steer people towards the free-to-play for now because I would obviously say get a mega or a salamander, but maybe that's a personal opinion. What's the difference between the green board enemies and the yellow board ones? The yellow board are harder to hit, better dodge, and they can be more powerful. Heaviers, 35 nanopods, but good meat shield. Yeah, the heavier is well worth the 35 nanos in my opinion. I need to use that again. Real quick, which units are the worst to rank up? The worst units to rank up, the wimps suck. The megas are just ass to rank up, I will say. I kind of like these guys. It's awesome. What are units not back in the game yet that you already miss? What's up, Spartan Breaker? Honestly, got a piece of dog hair in my mouth here real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is the best take of the night for me from Spartan Breaker. Maybe not the best take of the night, but this is a really well flushed out rating system. I would say Madrona is an A for content quality, B in the time schedule, and a C or worse in the communication. Hard agree on all of this. I think that's a really good way to kind of break it down too, and point to areas where they're doing really well and point to areas where they're not doing so well. Yeah, no, that's probably the best best thought of the night right there. I agree with that one. You know what? Hi. What's up? Hey there, buddy. No, I'd argue above a C in time because they did get that first boss strike out in a good time period, and they also got the Black Nano event in time as well. That was really good to see. So I would counter your C to at least to B. Unicorn Troop. But yeah, people are saying Deadeye, Boomba, Samurai, Mech Tank, Mech Artillery. Yeah, all good choices. I'm Plasma Artillery, obviously, since I'm heavy free to play. What? Oh, you want all the pets, buddy? I know. I see ya. Did mommy not give you any love today? Oh, you're good. Oh, you want to play? That's it. Anyway, the June through October drought is hard to excuse even with the strike. June through October, we saw level cap increase from 36 to 49 to 40, 36 to 46. I'm lower on the content than the masses, but so glad the game is back. Totally understand that. I think I can make the BBC. Oh, that came out wrong. The B for content, the B for time, and the C or worse for communication. I can make quote unquote the BBC argument. Not what I mean by that, but you all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Yeah, we are. I mean, PvP's a big one. I think PvP is really what they're missing right now, in my personal opinion. What? Hi. You're about to lose access to this. I'm about to close the door on you, bud. How can I need none of that bad mojo right there. Let's keep scrolling through Reddit. Let's do it. Love it when the power boats one shot an M10 at least one time every day. That is quite unfortunate. He needs to get those M10s up to R4, and that might happen. Hey, cutie. Do the riot missions lead somewhere important? I just hate the missions. They are boring AF. It takes so long because you can't just mow everything down. So can I skip them? Or is there something important unlocked after it? They're part of the main storyline, I believe. You got to do them. I believe they are part of the main storyline. Definitely worth it. One sec. Sorry about that. Reddit is full of bad mojo, so asking for anything else is like asking for a miracle. Reddit's full of bad mojo? Interesting. Here's the Doomer take, and I know it's a little bit Doomer tonight too, so totally get it. What's the take here tonight? Is that only been back for a month and I'm already tired of the grind. Jaunt is pretty boring. Level 25. Needs something to stimulate brain cells. That's not the most fully fleshed take I've ever seen. But for the next boss strike coming, get resource nodes up. Yeah, do all that. You're level 25. You didn't even scratch the surface of the grind. Level 25 complaining about content. That is crazy. Also, I want to community shame real quick because the devs put out a poll asking when people would want the next boss strike, and people said late March, I believe, of 2025. That was the wrong answer. If we're going to get no events between the first boss strike and the second boss strike, the devs should not listen to the community too much, because I could use a boss strike like next weekend or something like that. We'd be totally down. I'm gonna shame everyone. No, I'm joking. But we didn't know it was only going to be low. I just have a bad vote. Y'all should not be allowed to vote. Ancient Sentinel free to play. Hot take: Wimps get nerfed. Hell slash to half weapon damage rebalance. Ooh, I don't know if we need any. I don't condone any Wimp nerf talking. Don't like that. But we'll see. Hey guys, I was wondering if anyone knows if it's possible to beat Ancient Sentinel free to play without snakes. Possibly once rank 56 comes out and you get trebs. Does anyone know of a player beating it like this? It is possible, though incredibly difficult. Technically speaking, if you save all of your nanos to buy mega vets, it is doable, but this requires a lot of resets and luck. If you don't have snakes, your best bet is to wait to level 56 with trebs, prestige, and hopefully radio tech will be much more achievable. They already nerfed the Wimps when they limited them to 3. They did. They did already nerf the Wimps when they limited them to 3. Okay, interesting. So this is something that I was not familiar with, but I'm getting caught up on now. Is somebody saying, instead they're bringing Prestige in the 56 update. This will most likely lower the requirement on the Prestige Academy. Otherwise, there would be next to no point in allowing us to earn Prestige stars. They did. In the base game, they did, but that was an update. Originally, you could Wimp span. It wasn't always a 3 Wimp limit. It was a patch, nerf, call it what you want. Yeah, it's pretty hectic right now if you're trying to beat that. We got BN Emperor. Make sure to go support him. Friend, Guild Finder, weekly mega thread. That's good to see. Well, how do I do this mission? Use the heavier, mow them all down. I don't think that's how you do it. So lots of Ancient Sentinel. Field Agent worth bars. I would say so. Field Agent was great, but we'll see. forgot how good the Maulers were. Yeah, Maulers are great. Speaking of the devil, let's go back and do this Maulers. Ooh, you know what's a fun unit which we can use right now? It's going to make it go by real quick. This is like one of the funnest units in the game for me right now. I'm just having... Once you promote it again, it's hard just not to have a smile on your face. That thing tears everything to shreds, which is great to see. I feel like the heavier just needs a little bit more armor. It's not bad. Yeah, I gotta imagine if you had two... Oh, if you, yeah. Might have played this strat wrong. No, the heavier is great, but I gotta have my eyes on the prize here. Going to switch back to snakes. I know, I'm trying to rank up so many things at once right now. No, yeah, no. My next mission is to get these guys to R4 because they'll be able to shred probably in one hit versus two, which is great. Also, oh fuck, I pressed the wrong button. How many Maulers do y'all have, by the way? I did waste my black nanos a little bit, so obviously I don't have as many as some others, but kind of curious what everyone's Mauler cap is at right now. And I got to get these to R6 eventually, too, because they're going to be so good for boss strike. We're doing well there. 12 Maulers. Did you spend any nanos or no? 8. Yeah, I got some black nanos saved up, too. I have 6 right now. I could get some more. I also did end up getting a, I believe it's a Colossus when I was trying to get a Mauler. 10, 8. Okay, so I definitely have the lowest count here. I do not nano Maulers. I had 13 infections, got 12 Maulers, 1 claw. Oh, so you just went ahead and did them all. Interesting. I want a double digits 10 here. Buddy, what is it? Huh. May have used some nanos. Nice. So I hear that. I'll probably get some more before boss strike. Well, we'll get some tonight, actually. Let's do that. Dude, these guys are such a pain to grind, but they're fun. It's kind of good to see that get up. Also, curious what would you like, bud? No, totally understand that. And you did that by converting the laser trooper, right, Jut? Is that kind of the way to go on that? Yeah. Oh, that's good to see. Those are probably gonna have to wait till next October for me, in all honesty. I am excited for next October, though. I do want to get those missions. 14% hit rate. With my luck, I'm not getting them. Not a chance. Hey, Buster. See, if I can get that attack right there to one-shot them all, God, this goes by so much quicker. Hopefully it does with R4. Hopefully it does with R4. Yeah, no, I totally see that. Gotta get these helis up too, man. Has anybody been working on their soldiers or no? Been working on my helis too. It's good just. I guess if what I've found with the helicopters is honestly is that if you're doing something in the background with them, it does make it go by a little faster, which has been nice. Maulers definitely help everything go by faster. I have a bunch of units that are like pretty one sec. No, don't like the cost of bar to heal soldiers. Yeah, but if you get them so strong, you're not going to be able to need to do it as much. Ooh, that's a brutal attack right there. So, who here has R9 snakes, by the way? And did you find that made a huge difference with the Sentinel? Because that's kind of been my main goal recently. I mean, you see I'm 3 bars in. So we'll eventually get there. But I mean, obviously with the SP requirement on it, it's going to take a little bit. It's not like we're going to have it tomorrow by any means. I know you can speedrun them too if you do them just by themselves, but it's so much more fun to do them. Do them with another unit. Yeah, I think it is definitely worth the grind too, in all honesty. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I mean, everything, I feel like everything now just costs an absorbent amount of SP. Like, hey, what's up, dude? I love that name. But yeah, R9 is so nice. I need to get R9 so bad. Because you get that extra dodge and that extra crit chance, and I'm sure that just kind of pushes you right over the edge to make sure you're getting it almost every time. So definitely excited for that. Yeah, once I get these things to R9, the Ancient Sentinel is going to be a lot easier. I would also like a frag. A frag would be fantastic. Maybe one day. Have you all been having good luck with the vials or no? Curious about that one. There we go. Yeah. No, the vials have been great. I've been making so many light chem tanks, honestly. I have a whole army ready to go for the next round of light chem tanks. 2 out of 5 hits so far. So I believe I'm only on my 4th AC beat or AS beat. So still nothing, and I'm 3 for 4 on getting vials, which has been nice. That part's been nice. Alrighty. Zero 6. Hey, have you found that the spawn times have been pretty favorable if you're on 6? Four out of 5, can't complain. Yeah, at 4 out of 5, you're pretty lucky at that point. Oh, the perfect lineup right here. Yeah, most have had his 5 days. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I need to get more teeth, though. I'm in desperate need of some teeth. I'm going to need some more for these maulers as well. And guys, once we get these guys ready for R4, we are going to go ahead and do another infection. I had the mythic rare 3-day spawn today. That's pretty nice. I could use a mythic rare. Oh, but the times I'll complain about respawns. Yeah. No, heard on that. I'm on 5 out of 6. Oh, 8-day spawn is brutal. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I've never been so antsy to fight a boss. I feel like every day that I don't have a frag, I'm falling behind in the game, which is quite unfortunate. Really want a ranged frag. Never got one back in the day. So hoping to get one this time around. I mean, obviously, if I get a ranged frag, that's going to rejuvenate the game a whole lot for me. So I'd be very excited for that part. Now, do y'all think that snakes are going to have a ton of use outside of the AS? I mean, like, you have them at R9, you got to assume, hey, they're probably still going to be pretty good, but maybe not. You know, seeing the double drops hurts, but I mean, seeing the double drops kills me inside. I'm like, why couldn't it be me? Imagine having both, man. Just living it up. That's the life that I want right there, the double drop life. Snakes are kind of tearing it up. I mean, we're not getting SP too terribly slowly with them. Obviously, it's probably not at the rate that we want, but that's okay. Yes, they will animate Mega Tanks in PvP as the backline unit. Yeah. So, question: How many people in y'all's guilds have Ancient Sentinel drops? Been kind of very curious about this. I think in BNA we're sitting at about 20 on AS drops, but I'm not 100% certain. Guys, we are in the home stretch. I'm going to finish this thing out tonight, if it's the last thing I do. I mean, obviously, purposely, it's taking longer because I'm choosing to use the snake as well, but they're both units I want to get up. I got to get that Mega Tank up to R5, too. That one's going to take a little bit, but it'll be well worth it. That's good to see. 1 bar on that. Oof. PSC 20 out of 21 people, 23 total. Okay. Damn, so you already have people. I can't believe people have multiple drops as well. Blows my mind. Very jealous of them. All right, we were speed running through this as quickly as possible. Come on, guys. $25 people now. 25 total now. Okay, 3 people have 2 frags. That is nuts to me. Jeff, you got any? Yeah, me too. But they were on my team, so cool. Yeah, it's great. It's great seeing people on your team get the frags. Yeah, I'm waiting on mine as well. Jeff, let it ride. So do y'all think that Maulers are more important to promote than heavier tanks right now? Because I've kind of been thinking about this. I use my heavier tanks in the battle with the Ancient Sentinel, and I really don't have too many issues with the heavier tanks, in all honesty. Let's see what that does right there. Making headway, man. This is taking a long time. I hope y'all are able to grind with me in the background. Maulers are going to be the bread and butter if you don't got a frag, TBH. Yeah, kind of thinking that Maulers might be the way to go. Piercing is GOAT on the whiteboard. Yeah, it really is. I need to get these guys at least up to R5. It takes a long time to get these guys to R6, but hey, yeah, I think it's going to be more worth it than the Mega. Yeah, no, I need that Pearson to get up. I think right now, these 2 units right here might be the 2 of the most important units in the game. Arguably more so than vets. Nice. Ooh, it's going to be a... Hopefully that one finishes them off right there. Yep, we're good to go. Yeah, piercing. So where do y'all have your Maulers at right now? And did you, I mean, I'm guessing the grind you didn't find that hard either, just given the fact of, just given the fact that they're kind of pretty easy to rank up. People already R6. Damn, people already have these R6. I'm majorly slacking. Then I'm the one complaining about content, and I'm apparently the one who's just not investing enough in the content. All right, there we go. Those are good. Yeah, no, these guys are getting promoted ASAP. right, guys, we are so close. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to finish this fight. I'll be right back. Apologies for that. I'm back. All right, and let's get these guys finished out here. Thank you for holding on, y'all. Anybody have any fun weekend plans? Any Valentine's Day fans? I can't believe y'all have convinced men, or I can't believe y'all have convinced the ladies or guys to date y'all. And it's crazy that people in this community have girlfriends or boyfriends. So congrats to y'all. 3 ready for 4 by range frag. Yeah. I'm sorry that your range frag ate all your teeth. I feel so bad for you, Jut. God, I need a range frag so badly. We're gonna. The joke's been made of like, hey, does anybody else feel like they're just checking the ancient area like every 5 seconds, just seeing if something spawned again? A little single here. I feel that. Well, hey, you got more time to grind. You'll be more prepared than me for the next boss strike, next events. We're making some headway here. I asked Zoe on a date that, hey, you might be the first one, dude. You go right ahead. More power to you. I love that profile picture too. That's hilarious. All right, we're making some headway on that snake too. I mean, it takes God knows how much SP, but it's making it there. Don't like to see that. Home stretch maybe right here. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that Maulers are hands down the undisputed best. I mean, basically, from what I'm seeing, they're just hands down the best infected unit out there. Maybe that's me getting ahead of myself, but I'm not seeing it any other way right now. Oh boy, I need to get my teeth up too. So how many teeth does it take to get this thing from R4 to R5? All right, to get these things from R4 to R5, it takes 20 teeth. Oof. That's a little bit of teeth. Get it to, oh gosh, it's going to take over double. All right, so this thing's going to be a pain to get from R4 to R5. I will say it's 120. It's 121. It's not terrible, but it will definitely be something that takes a little bit. I hope to see infected mammoths. Infected mammoths would be freaking awesome. I really hope to see that, actually. We are almost there. Oh, what a strike. I'll take that any day of the week. What are we thinking? 2 more battles here? I think so. Knock those guys out. Let's transition. Snag that over. Oof. I think we need to get through this next one without... Yeah. No wasted SP, so we're going to use no maulers on this last one. Boom. There we go. R4. And we're about halfway through our 3rd bar on the snakes. That's not bad progress whatsoever. All right. And we'll go back home and check out where we are. So we have been kind of consistently ranking up units. The dirigible is 12 hours. So we'll promote that in the morning. Mavericks at R7. One's at R4. I haven't really been focused on that one. What else am I ranking up? I got the Bigfoot at R2, but it's so much worse than the Mauler. We do have the Colossus. It's always a fun unit. Where's it going to go? Oh, we're going to do a little quick clear of this as well before we kind of wrap it up here. These are super fun to do, and we are hunting teeth as well. Because they can't attack you, which is great, so you can just wail on them with these. Easy peasy. The infected sandworm. Ooh. I feel like that infected sandworm sounds probably as good as the legendary sandworm, or at least to me. I mean, with these infected maulers are pretty nuts. Ooh, infected raiders. Who's to say that raiders aren't infected? Hey, Buster. You see something outside? Oh, yeah, y'all can see my dog behind me. There's Appa. Hey, Appa. He's been outside almost the entire day. And he sees something very clearly. Well, considering raiders live in the deserts, they probably have different diseases. That's, yeah. Oh, I'm sure they got, yeah. All right, I'm going to get no teeth here, which is just going to really ruffle my feathers. I can't even get drops from the damn raptors. All right, come on, let's get some teeth here. Groupers drop teeth from fishing grounds. Yeah, but I get my ass kicked, and that's wasted SP as well. I'm trying to parlay SP with teeth here, and clearly that's not working well. But we're giving it a go. Alrighty, that was good run right there. All right, let's get some teeth. That was a bad attack. Nothing. I mean, we're getting gold, but we're not getting anything on the teeth front. It's a damn shame to see. See what we get here. Last chance. Yeah, I'm enjoying these air units. I like the animations a lot. I think they've been relatively good for the game. No teeth. Well, guys, I think that's where I'm going to end it here for tonight. I appreciate the main discussion today. If you're trying to watch, great. I hope they take some of the feedback. But guys, I don't want anything that I've said today to take away from the fact that they've done a fantastic job on the game. Seriously, this has been all coming together very well. So guys, make sure to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And yeah, we'll see you next week. It's going to be Thursday again next week. And I hope you all have a lovely evening. Talk to you all next Thursday. Goodbye.